How's it going, everybody? This is Joey of Underage Packers. Today we have an interesting topic at hand. We are going to be looking back at the last 5 Packers draft classes and ranking them. And my golden rule of, it's too early to tell on 2019 and 2020. Therefore, we're going to be starting in 2018. So 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, we are going to be ranking those from best to worst. Let's get right into it. There is some yikes in the latter years of Ted Thompson's, but I'm pretty excited for it. There's definitely a science to this draft class ranking. Let's start off with number 5, the worst, 2015. With a lot of these draft classes, especially near the end of Ted Thompson, the first round pick could have not been worse, but he always finds a star in round 4, 5, 6, something like that. In 2015, he failed at both those. In first round, at pick 30, he drafted Damarious Randall. Second round, pick 62, Quinton Rollins, doubling up on the secondary. Then wide receiver Ty Montgomery, who later converted to halfback. Jake Ryan, outside linebacker, who converted to inside linebacker. A lot of transitions. Fan favorite quarterback Brett Hundley, Aaron Bukowski, Christian Ringo, and then Kennard Backman. So, Ty Montgomery, I guess, is pretty good value for a third-round pick, transforming to a running back and being pretty helpful. Jake Ryan isn't too bad for the fourth round, was a solid starter for a year or two, but just never really developed into anything. Brett Hundley, man, the golden rule, don't say anything if you don't have anything nice to say. Aaron Ripkowski in the 6th round, pretty good. I loved him on the run-to-table run. Unfortunately, I wish we kept him for a little bit longer. That is what it is. Really, just no bright spots in the 2015 draft for the Packers. Number 4, 2017. Now, Ted Thompson, this was a really interesting one. This had a lot more picks than he usually had. It had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total draft picks. And this really isn't that bad. Kevin Keene at pick 33. Josh Jones at 61. That was a miss. 93, Montravius Adams, another miss right there. Linebacker Vince Bagel. I wish we could have held on to Vince a little longer. He seems to be doing good in Miami right now, had one good year in New Orleans. Even if he's just a special teams piece or a rotational guy, I really would have liked to keep Vince Bagel, and that's not just because of my bias, because he gave me his glove at training camp plus. And then you have Jamal Williams in the 4th round as well. That's a great pick. D'Angelo Yancey in the 5th. He didn't make the roster for too long. Aaron Jones, a star running back in the 5th round. And now that I'm looking at it, probably should be higher. But Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, and even Kevin Keene, even though it's not the best value, just those 2 starting running backs for you are worth it. But other than that, every single pick is a miss. Devontae Mays, Malachi Dupre, not the best for 2017 outside of Aaron Jones. Number 3 at 2018, and this is really all because of Jair Alexander. There's no other explanation, reason why, just simply Jair Alexander. Josh Jackson, I really wish he could have turned into something. He still has the year to prove it. Warren Burks at pick 88, we traded up into the 3rd round for him. He's a special teams, great special teams player. You don't draft a special teams player in the 3rd round, though. Jamal Moore in the 4th round, never turned anything. Cole Madison, I think he got dealt an unfair hand when he first got into the league, so that's unfortunate. Some personal behind-the-scenes stuff with Cole. J.K. Scott, God, I cannot understand. You're going to draft a punter. So it's like, okay, even if he's like a good punter, is it really even worth it to draft him in the 5th round? But J.K. isn't even good, so that's really disappointing. I'm really thinking, man, 2018 should probably be switched with 17. In the 5th round, we also picked up Marquez Valdes-Scantling, which is fantastic value. I love me some MVS at 174. Economius St. Brown at 207. James Looney, Hunter Bradley, the long snapper, who also is not the best, and then Kendall Donnerson in the 7th round. So I guess I'd switch 2018 to number 4 and 2017 to number 3. We are down to just 2 more. At number 2, I'm going with the 2016 class, and this was a pretty typical Ted Thompson draft, like I mentioned earlier, where he just gets a few of those guys in the later round that are like, hey, that's a decent class. In the first round, you have Kenny Clark, who is one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Jason Spriggs at pick 48 did not work out. 88 pick over 88. Kyler Fackrell, once again, another guy I wish we would have held on to longer. He let him walk to the Giants last year. A pretty solid rotational piece. Blake Martinez in the fourth round. I think he got a little too much hype just because of his great tackling stats and numbers from fans. But, getting that in the fourth rounder isn't bad. And then Dean Lowry in round 4 as well. And then Trevor Davis and Kyle Murphy. And this is just a really good one in my opinion because you get Kenny Clark, that stud, in the first round. And then you have three starters in the later rounds. Not too many picks in this class. But none of them, besides Kyle Murphy, so 3 out of the Jason Spriggs, Trevor Davis, Kyle Murphy. Outside of that, they were pretty much all good value. Finally, we have 2014. I love this class. So many great players. We have in the first round, Clinton Dix, who it's really interesting to see how his perception from fans has quickly changed when he was just here 2 years ago and he really fell off the face of the earth. After we traded him to Washington. At pick 21, Pick 53, we get Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in the league. In the second round, absolutely phenomenal. Then you got Kyrie Thornton in the third round. That name doesn't ring a bell, so that says enough. Then you have Richard Rodgers, the Hail Mary legend. Was an okay tight end starter for a few years, few backup times. Obviously caught the Hail Mary, so okay value for the third round. Carl Bradford in the fourth. And then fifth, Corey Linsley, the All-Pro center. So to be able to get 2 All-Pros out of this, absolutely phenomenal. They were centerpieces of the 2020 team, obviously. 2 All-Pros. They're still having great careers. So 2014 was phenomenal. Then you had Jared Aberdare, Dimitri Goodson in the 6th round, and then Jeff Janis, who also, this was the year of drafting Hail Mary players. Well, that's all I got for you today. Let me know your thoughts, what you think is the best draft class, your rankings, and all of that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff and whatnot. And as always, go Pack Go.